Hello, this is Iron Port, proudly brought to you by West Blue Consulting, Ghana Oil Company Limited and Ghana Community Network Services. BNFT and Maritime and Transport Digest are the proud media partners of this program. Folks, the past week we were very worried, and we expressed it on this platform, that there was some bit of confusion that was ensuing in the port because government or Ghana Revenue Authority was implementing or was about to implement the cargo tracking note, that's the CTN, which the freight forwarder says a lot of hitches are in there and they are not ready for it. The shipping line says that if you don't have the CTN, they weren't going to bring your cargo. All of that brouhaha was ensuing in the port. Fortunately, there's a closure, temporary closure to that matter. The government says they have postponed the implementation of the cargo tracking note, that's a CTN, until October 15th. They are not implementing that now. From now until October 15th, the government intends to put certain measures in place to ensure that we have a very smooth implementation process when we start it from October 15th.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has postponed the implementation of the cargo tracking notes policy to the 15th October 2018. The policy, which was expected to be rolled out on September 1st, 2018, has been postponed to October 15, 2018. The postponement comes on the back of several protests and strikes by the Joint Committee of Freight Forwarder Associations. They halted the payment of duty to the Customs Division of the GRA from Monday 27th August 2018 to Wednesday 29th August to register their displeasure against the policy.
India is making for free. Why other countries for money? India is doing for free. It's not the same thing India is doing.
But the GRA on Thursday, 30th September 2018, issued a public notice to announce the postponement. The notice, which was signed by the Commissioner General of the GRA, Emmanuel Kofi, said, following consultations between government and key stakeholders, the Commissioner General wishes to inform the trading public, importers, freight forwarders, shipping lines, and other stakeholders that the effective date for the implementation of the cargo tracking notes has been rescheduled 15th October 2018. The postponement of the implementation date is to allow for the following: 1. More consultation and sensitization of all stakeholders with a view to build and deepen understanding and consensus. 2. To address all concerns raised by the trading community before the new date of the implementation of the CTN. The Commissioner General also announced the following: 1. There will be no fees or charges applicable to importers or shippers in Ghana or elsewhere associated with the implementation of the CTN now or in the future. 2. Any fees charged to any importer so far in association with the implementation of the CTN will be reimbursed by the Ghana Revenue Authority. 3. The Ghana Revenue Authority will inform all shippers abroad from today that no CTN no load policy is rescheduled until October 15th. The Commissioner General takes this opportunity to express his gratitude to all the stakeholders for their cooperation, the notice added. Following this announcement, the trading community as well as the shipping lines have welcomed their decision. The Vice President of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, SOAG, Moro Ayana, says the announcement has brought relief to shipping lines.
It's a big relief to us. Like I told you, everybody loses. You know, we're going to lose volumes that, ultimately we had planned it, earlier to come to Ghana, and the government would have lost some volumes that they would take their indirect taxes, agents, business, everybody will be impacted.
The Executive Secretary of Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki, thanked the President for taking that bold decision to suspend the CTN policy. He said businesses are ready to engage customs on the way forward.
GRA should have waited after we had all this, finished all the loopholes, the discussions, and we all come to an agreement state. Then you can now issue another statement to say, okay, after having discussed and met with all parties, certified by all parties, we think at this date we will implement it again.
The district president of the Customs Brokers Association of Ghana, Emmanuel Gajipo, called for the total abrogation of the CTN since it will only increase the cost of doing business in the country.
To us, it's a welcome news, meaning that something is being felt by the authorities in charge. Such consultations should have gone deeper before they coming out with this. You don't just come and throw anything on us and then expect us to take it too.
Hooray! We are in the month of September, and this is the first week of the month of September, a very special month on the calendar within the port and maritime industry. And that's because most of the major policies that take place in the ports and maritime business here in Ghana often commence from the 1st of September. You recall that the 5 destination inspection companies gave way to West Blue beginning 1st of September in the year 2016 or 2015, thereabout. And also it was in the month of September that the Vice President's directive regarding the paperless, as well as the removal of the custom barriers, as well as the joint inspection, all were supposed to begin in the first week or the 1st of September. That was exactly a year ago. Again, it was in the month of September, the 1st of September, that this CTN was also supposed to start. Aside that, a number of custom policies have begun 1st September. So September is very special. And this is to tell you that it is exactly 1 year since the Vice President's directive to go 100% paperless and also remove all custom barriers on the transit corridor and have joint inspection. All of them were supposed to start the 1st of September. Where I'm standing right now, I'm right in front of the long room. This place, before the 1st of September last year, there used to be a long queue here because almost every clearing agent, almost every importer needed to enter here to get your documentation processes processed by customs. All of that are gone. So 1 year on after that directive, what are the people saying?
Celebrating all night long.
In May 2017, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, at a port efficiency conference in Accra, announced 3-point policy directives aimed at improving Ghana's port sector. The directives included: the ports of Ghana should go 100% paperless, all custom barriers should be removed from Ghana's transit corridor, and mandatory joint inspection at the ports of Ghana. These directives were to take place on 1st September 2017 to improve the competitiveness of the ports and businesses in the country. Firstly, the paperless policy was aimed at improving the clearance procedures at the ports of Ghana by eliminating delays. This was also to improve port efficiency for accelerated national development. It was the expectation of the Vice President that goods should be cleared from the ports within 4 hours. Secondly, the removal of custom barriers on the transit corridors was to ensure free flow of goods from the ports of Ghana to neighboring transit countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Prior to this directive, several complaints had been raised on the high number of custom barriers on Ghana's corridors, which was said to be impeding the transportation of goods to their destinations. Thirdly, the mandatory joint inspection at the ports directive was expected to reduce the multiplicity of regulatory agencies who conduct inspections at the ports and compel them to conduct their inspections jointly. Exactly a year after the policy, Iron Port engaged some industry players to pick up their thoughts as to whether the policy has been beneficial and whether indeed the processes for the clearance of goods at the port has improved as a result of the paperless policy.
And the paperless idea is to be able to do more electronic and less paper. So it takes away a lot of the bureaucracy that we used to experience at the port.
Borderless Alliance has completely embraced the concept of paperless system at the ports. It will speed up and it will reduce cost.
I must say it has achieved most of its purposes, though we still will have to do some evaluation, sit down to know how to tighten the loose ends.
And now that the paperless is in full force, it's shorter, and then you get messages as per everything you're doing.
We are appreciative of the fact that it's been realized that the port is challenged. Measures are being taken to resolve those challenges.
The stakeholders revealed that the paperless system has helped improve the clearance processes as they are able to receive Customs Classification Valuation Report CCVR within 24 hours compared to previously, which was 3 days or 72 hours.
The paperless system now, I can say it's brought some relief. At least it impacted the business a lot, as in delivery times, and then also the time that we used to obtain the CCVR. You know, with the previous dispensation, that was the destination inspection companies, the duration sometimes 4 days, 3 days, 1 week.
When all your documentation is set, of course, the paperless is the best way to go, because you can even actually pay from your desktop, right, in your office before you show up at the port.
We are talking about time. If all documents are okay, if you've paid for your freight and all the documents have been handed over to you, and then no queries and all that, then I think we are getting the time aspect. Okay. And then also, because when time is saved, cost is also saved.
The process has improved. Now, especially when your entry has to go through GMS, they will give you all of them their contacts. You receive a text message, FDA's contact, and when you call them, you let them know the time the container will be positioned and they will be there. Initially, you have to go around from one point to the other, moving from them one agency to the other.
The long room, which is an area for payment of customs duty that was often characterized with long queues and delays, has been scrapped with the coming into force of the paperless system. This decision also received the commendation from the stakeholders who argue that the human interface has been removed.
All the long room was removed to the head office. Now you don't even know who is doing your work. The compliance officer who is working on your document. So there's the human interface is removed. And then in a sense, it has fast-tracked the job for us.
Yes, the long room for TEMA, that's one I'll say is a big plus for us. The long room process that has been scrapped off, because previously you send your field staff to the long room, and then they will take the whole day in the long room. You wouldn't know whether your document is being worked on. You don't know it. But now at least you know. When you send, you don't need to go to the long room to wait for anything.
The stakeholders were also happy about the fact that the joint inspection has been very effective since September 1. The Vice President later announced that the regulatory agencies who carry out inspections at the ports have been reduced from 13 to 3. However, on this directive, some stakeholders think it should be reduced further because there is still a duplicity of role.
If we have 16 agencies that you have to deal with in clearing, and it's been reduced to 3, you don't have to be a clearing agent or you have to work in the port to know that obviously there are significant benefits from that.
Now, you see, the 16 to 3 is working. I want to say 3. When you take customs, standard board, and the food and drugs board, customs alone has other sectors like preventive, like tagging,
customs chemist,
so even the customs look here as 1, in effect it's not 1. Because you go to chemist. Because I don't see why I should go to food and drugs board, standard board, and go to chemist. They are still duplicating their duties.
That is another bold decision. It's a bold directive, and I will have to commend the team that is shepherding this. There is some few lapses here and there. Some overrides are still in there, but it is early days yet to pass judgment on how this, the reduction of the port inspection agencies.
There is a good thing, because we are talking about trade facilitation, we are talking about time. So anything that will ensure that, then that's what I was talking about. And then that was also a human interface, physical inspection and all that. And if we are talking about 16 agencies, then it would have defeated the cause of the paperless.
Despite the successes chalked on the paperless and the other directives so far, the stakeholders, however, maintain that there is a need for a government structure to be put in place to ensure a proper free flow of information within Ghana's ports.
We believe the biggest challenge with all the port processes that we are trying to undertake, from national single window to paperless and all the others. The biggest challenge is corporate governance, a proper governance structure that everybody would have to, everybody respects and is authority. If that's in place, most of the things that we are looking at will work.
You hear that one person will bring a product today wanting to fuse it up with the paperless system, another time another system want to be introduced, and then it makes the whole thing very confusing.
They called for the shipping lines to be integrated into the pre-arrival assessment reporting system, PASS, so as to reduce the clearance time further.
The only drawback in this whole 48-hour business is the shipping lines, because they are not so integrated into the PASS system.
The stakeholders say they want enough consultations before policies are rolled so as not to suffer setbacks. On the issue of removal of custom barriers, the national president of Borderless Alliance, Ziad Hamui, said it is commendable as it has made Ghana's transit corridors very competitive.
What is everybody's key mission? To make sure that Ghana is the gateway. So you have to use our ports, because it's the best and most competitive ports. You have to use our corridors because they are the most competitive and the easiest to use. And you can use our system because it is the most competitive for doing business.
He said the removal of the custom barriers will make Ghana the economic gateway to West Africa if properly implemented, if its implementation is well maintained and continuously improved.
The director of TEMA Port, Edward Osei, has disclosed that the implementation of the paperless concept by the Vice President, Dr. Mahumudu Bawumia, has cut down corruption drastically.
The paperless concept, which the Vice President introduced, has really lowered corruption. Okay, and I tell the story that wherever you take away the human interface, corruption comes down.
He also added that the paperless concept has been very advantageous because it has made clearing of goods very easy and time-saving. He emphasized once an importer's documentation is in its right state, goods can be cleared within 24 hours on arrival.
But I can fairly say that, when your goods arrive and you have all the documentation ready, it could be cleared in 24 hours. Before, it was taking like weeks.
Speaking in a television interview, Edward Kofi Osei said the Port Authority has been working intensively with the intelligence community to root out any form of corruption.
We have been working greatly with the intelligence community, all right, day in and day out, trying to root out corruption.
The director of the Port of TEMA, Edward Osei, stated that the initiative set by the Vice President has really been helpful to the Port Authority as it led to the reduction of numerous agencies at the port, among others.
Those three initiatives by the Vice President, or the three directives, have really done a lot for us.
Edward Osei stated that GPHA is working closely with the Navy and the Ghana Maritime Authority to guard vessels that dock at the port.
So it's exactly 1 year after the directive to go 100% paperless, although it is obvious that we do not have 100% paperless in the system, because a lot of people have said, and you can see that some papers are bundling around. But those were the testimonies. A lot of things have taken place positive regarding the paperless directive. You can see long room is no longer the long room that you used to know. It's always empty like that. It wasn't like that before paperless. Government says a lot of things has also happened. We have heard from the agencies who work for government saying that there have been quite a number of improvements. Listen. Paperless ports, the journey so far. On May 17th, 2017, the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahumudu Bawumia, announced key policies to reform the ports in Ghana.
From September 1st, we want to see mandatory joint inspections and examinations of containers at the port. Secondly, from September 1st, Ghana is going 100% paperless at the port. from September 1st.
The policies were the removal of custom barriers within the country, introduction of the Joint Inspection Management Information System, and the paperless ports. These policies gave far-reaching benefits to making the ports more competitive and to make doing business in Ghana very easy. As the positive results kept pouring in, the Vice President later announced additional policies to further enhance the ports in Ghana. These were reduction of 16 inspection agencies to 3 agencies, removal of customs long room, and introduction of integrated risk management system. So far, the benefits have been outstanding. Long room is history. Over 60% of goods have been cleared in less than 48 hours. There has been efficient revenue collection resulting in 24% increase in government collections. Demurrage cost has reduced by 17.5%. The risk management system has reduced 100% mandatory inspections to 59%. Doing business in Ghana keeps getting better. Let us continue to improve trade facilitation together. This message is supported by the Ghana Trading Hub portal.
In the coming days of Iron Pod, we will be assessing fully the impact of those directives given by the Vice President. We will be talking to His Excellency the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia himself to find out his level of satisfaction regarding the policies that he himself directed over there. We will also be highlighting some of the challenges and see how best they can be addressed going forward, particularly fees and fines. People, there have been a lot of complaints about the fact that in as much as the paperless has made processes easier, the cost of doing business hasn't necessarily been translated down to the regular importer. People have called for the scrapping of the miscellaneous fees, for instance, that are being charged on the bills. We will be bringing you all of that in this month of September, special month for port reforms. Iron Pod returns after the break.
Hello. Good morning. This is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SAT Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less.
Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Mama, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how?
Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window. The only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Fraud alert. GPHA does not auction. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority wishes to inform the general public that the authority does not buy and sell on internet platforms and does not auction cars and other items in and around the port. Beware of fraudsters who claim to auction cars and other items in the ports and defraud people in the process.
For further information, contact tema@ghanaports.net or call +233 303 202 758. Beware of fraudsters. Now, welcome back from the break. You're still watching Iron Port, and there is some good news within the port industry, particularly for those who are retiring from service within the port industry, particularly at the Ports and Harbours Authority. The Director General, Mr. Michael Oguje, is promising to look into the fact that he wants to extend GPHA healthcare services to retirees even after 70 years. Currently, after 70 years, you don't enjoy those healthcare benefit, health services, but he's considering to extend that beyond there. That's good news, and I hope that a lot of organizations will be emulating that. Listen.
The Acting Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Oguje, has promised to extend the number of years for medical care for pensioners of GPHA to 70 years. He said this at a send-off ceremony for 3 senior managers of the Port Authority. Michael Oguje congratulated the retirees and expressed appreciation to them for working very hard during their term of office to ensure improvement of the port.
I think what is on the table today for retirees is the medical care. The medical care that should be provided, and we'll try to extend the number of years you should get Medicare after 70.
The former manager of logistics and a retiree, Alphonse Wadi, shared some fond memories of the port, recollecting how fun and tedious work could get sometimes.
No messenger drives in a car to do dispatches. You walk. When you're tired, you use your dispatch book as a pillow and sleep under a tree. Because if you don't, you break down. You see, and these are kind of some of things that we went through.
Another retiree and a former general manager for port operations, Abraham Mensah, revealed that he has gained very rich experience and exposure while working with the port, which helped him discharge his duties effectively.
But with this rich experience and exposure from the port operations department, in fact, it really also helped me a lot. I understood the port work and how to deal with human beings.
Alhaji Husseini Suleiman, who has also retired, expressed pride in the fact that with the help of his colleague engineers, they have been able to put up most construction works, which includes the International Maritime Hospital.
As a civil engineer, a lot of things changed because I brought a whole lot of innovation and ingenuity in the civil engineering profession. Most of GPHA structures that you see, I supervise them.
Other news and activities locally within the port and maritime industry next.
The technical support providers for the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, West Blue Consulting, has boosted the courier operations of Ghana Post, the designated universal operator of postal services in Ghana. West Blue Consulting has developed the software to enhance Ghana's post courier system, which is the receipt of parcels. What this means is that customers who are due to pay duties on their parcels can do so electronically, and the parcels will be delivered to their doorstep through the use of the digital address system.
If to pick an item in Accra, because of duty, you have to travel probably from Tamale to Accra to pick the item, we thought that it was inconveniencing customers. So we saw this West Blue project as coming to enhance our business.
According to officials of Ghana Post, the improvement of courier services has injected efficiency into the operations of the company.
Once we communicate the duty payable to the customer, you should be able to make electronic payment anywhere. It will hit the system, and then delivery officers will now take it straight to your doorstep and give it to you.
This new software eliminates inconveniences and adds value to the customer. Ghana Post assured customers of the safety and security of their parcels with their tracking system, as well as an efficient, reliable, and quickest postal service.
International port news are next on your screens. A year and a half after the sinking of Stella Daisy, South Korean vessel which transports bulk cargo, the Korean government has approved a budget for a deep-sea search for the ship's voyage data recorder. The 266,100 deadweight tonnage sank on March 31st, 2017, some 1,700 miles east of the port of Montevideo, Uruguay, while transporting iron ore from Brazil to China.
The South Korean bulker was carrying 24 crew members, 8 South Korean and 16 Filipino sailors. When it sank in the South Atlantic, only 2 sailors were rescued following the incident. The remaining 22 crew members are still missing and presumed dead. The Georgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed on Friday, August 24, that the Panama-flagged tanker Pantelina, which went missing on August 14, has been found in the waters of Congo. The ministry said that the 17 Georgian sailors on board are reported to be alive and well, adding that the ship was heading toward Lomé, the Republic of Togo. According to the Russian media, there are also 2 Russian sailors on board the vessel.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage, those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate that you need to know to clear your goods from the port are next. In the coming days, we will be bringing you update on our story regarding the missing cranes between GKL, a company, a construction company, also one Mr. Abdul Razak, who reported that issue, an importer, and Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. The revelations are thrilling. You don't have to miss this particular story. We will bring you update, very thrilling update for that matter. Thank you for watching the program. Also, thanks a lot to the entire crew, particularly the executive producers of the program, Abna Sewa Opokufusu and Esther Jibidonko.